Compost is one of the best things you can add to your garden. Today we're going to talk with Compost Nashville and how they partner with individuals and companies and how they help grow food and not landfills. I'm here with Beetle from Compost Nashville. He's one of the co-founders. So this is probably some of the most beautiful compost I've ever seen. Tell me about kind of y'all's practices.
What we do as a business is facilitate people and businesses having access to compost.
Okay.
Compost Nashville itself doesn't make the compost from start to finish necessarily, but what we do is we provide a collection service to homes, apartments, businesses, so that they can get their food scraps and other compostable materials from their location to a processing facility.
Oh, wonderful.
So we take it out to a processing facility in Ashland City, Tennessee, where it is then turned into this beautiful material. So that's a big shout out to the compost company as well, who we partner with to bring everything full circle.
How often do you pick up from, you said residences and commercial?
Yeah, both. So residential is once a week. So
Okay.
we come by your home, apartment, or condo once a week and take away all your food scraps and compostables.
Yeah.
And then for a commercial, like a restaurant, you know, they tend to need more frequent pickup than that. So twice a week seems to be what we normally do for them. Sometimes 3 times, sometimes once. It just depends on their needs.
What kind of guidelines do you put on, what people give you?
Well, that's one of the great things about what we do is that we can take things that you can't compost at home. So in your home compost bin, you wouldn't typically put meat and dairy and bones and certain things like that. You also wouldn't be able to compost certified compostable plastics, which is now a big market out there to help people get away from plastics and start still being able to have their to-go items, but have them be environmentally friendly.
Sure.
So we accept meat, bones, dairy, like I said, compostable takeout containers, and then your whole gamut of fruits and veggies, and also anything that was once a plant, right, can be turned back into soil.
Yeah.
So that goes for paper, cardboard, etc.
Yeah, so that's important for home viewers to know that a lot of the things that you do take, people do not want to put in their home compost, such as bones and those plastics, because they're a long-term thing and they're going to attract animals and stuff.
Yeah.
So how large of an area do y'all serve?
Yeah, well, we started out real small, it was just me, a Camry, and 2 customers. So I kind of serviced wherever they were.
Yeah.
But now we've grown a lot since we started the business, and we service pretty much the greater Nashville area, Brentwood, and Franklin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've grown a lot. We've had some demand in other parts. People sign up in Laverne and Mount Juliet, but we're not there yet. So eventually we hope to be everywhere. But yeah, if you live in Nashville, it's pretty much a good bet that you're in our service area.
Yeah, very cool. So if somebody signed up with you, they would have this.
Yes.
And this is what this is what they would fill. That then you would pick up weekly.
Right, this is our residential bin, it's 4 gallons. We also provide you with a starter package, which comes with a Compost Nashville bumper sticker and a fridge magnet that shows you everything that you can compost with us.
Awesome.
So we make it real easy for you just to look at the list and be like, yep, that's on the list, and it goes in here.
That's really helpful, so.
On top of that, a portion of the soil or compost generated from their food scraps is given back to them.
Wonderful.
Twice a year, early spring, early fall, for peak planting time, we deliver that compost back to your doorstep. And then if they don't have a use for that compost, if they live in an apartment or a condo or they don't garden, we donate that compost to a local farm or community garden like you see here. Yeah, We're just trying to close the food loop here in Nashville and keep stuff out of the landfill.
Yeah, and your motto is?
To grow food, not landfills.
That's great, yeah. As I've mentioned, Compost Nashville depends on commercial and residential. I'm here with Wendy from Mitchell's Deli in East Nashville, and y'all are one of the commercial contributors to their compost.
We compost our front of house, to-go cups, and pretty much anything that a customer would get. And then we also do all of our vegetable waste, our meat waste, and we also have a cold room, so anything that comes out of there gets composted.
So like this whole, I have like a potato salad with bacon, this product. So what's in there, or the whole thing, or what?
Yeah, once it's eaten, the whole container can get thrown into the compost, and then we send it off to Compost Nashville, and they are able to break it down, just like our coffee cups or soup.
Yeah. Well, to me, these look like traditional things because they're kind of paper product.
Yeah.
They feel like that. But this is what's striking my opinion.
Yeah.
So it seems like plastic to me, and it's not an actual plastic.
It's not an actual plastic.
Wow.
It's I think they're calling it a plant-based plastic.
Okay.
But it is, since it is plant-based, it is able to be broken down with high heat.
Very cool.
And so that's what Compost Nashville does.
Ah, nice. So in your kind of by your trash areas, you have a specific thing for patrons to drop compost material in.
We have 3 different bins, and one of them is specifically labeled compost. We go through a lot of cups in a month, and so the main goal was to get away from having a disposable cup for everybody.
Right.
So we've started handing out pint glasses for a tea or a soda, but a lot of people like to take it with them, and so we are now able to hand out a compostable cup, and it's clear just like the potato salad.
That's great.
But it's now compostable.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So just because I know, just in not talking with different businesses, a lot of people use styrofoam, which is totally like the opposite of kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Are these products a little more expensive? Like, where is that range?
They're a little more expensive, but it's not as much as you would think it would be. We had already been getting like paper things, and so when it came down to it, I think this packaging actually was less because it's 1 piece instead of 2.
Wow.
So it was equal or a little bit less than what we were paying, but the cup I think was, with the lid, was 10 or 15 cents more, and so with some of the savings that we were able to grab by using glassware, we now no longer have to worry so much about as large of an increase. So we've reduced, at the same time we've switched to compostable, we've reduced the amount that we're using.
Yeah, because I know the bottom line is very important with a small business, so you do have to be conscious of that while being conscious of, your choices of what to use. So
Yeah.
That's great. And I'm sure people notice that too. Have you had like customers make comments on that? Like, I
Yeah.
appreciate that nothing's styrofoam here.
Yeah, we've been doing some social media pushes, and almost every time we get lots of good feedback.
Wonderful.
And then in-house too, I've had a few customers say, I've noticed what you're doing and I really appreciate it. So it's people and our customers, they really do notice.
Good, that's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a feel-good thing too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that you're not just doing something that could just, you could be saving money otherwise, but
Right. It's worth it to you.
it's worth it. Yeah.
Cool. So
Makes me feel good.
yeah, good. Well, I appreciate you telling us about everything, and I appreciate your good decisions. Beetle mentioned earlier that you can donate your compost if you don't have a use for it. I'm here with Sylvia Gagne at Green Door Gourmet, and y'all are one of the recipients of their compost, right?
We are a delighted recipient of their compost because it's fabulous.
Yeah.
We have a number of CSA customers that live in apartments or don't really have as much gardening use for as much compost as would be generated by their family, and they designate us as a way to get compost back after they've purchased our vegetables. So it's a full circle. It's a win-win.
It is a win-win. That's great. And so with compost, we're here in a beautiful winter greenhouse full of lush stuff. I assume that y'all would come in and kind of top dress this when you first plant these. Is that how you use it?
Absolutely. So what we'll do is, in a hoop house situation, we'll come in, we'll broad fork everything before we're ready to plant. Then we take some of that beautiful black gold out there that you saw earlier, and we'll blend that in with the soil so it creates this very rich but loamy and pliable workable soil, and the seeds and the plants just love it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Do you only apply at the beginning of the planting?
Only in that particular form. Now, the other thing that it's really great for farmers is making compost tea.
Right.
And so we'll come back and do a foliar compost tea a little bit later on as things need a little bit more nourishment. But usually this is pretty good until far into their life cycle to need anything else. It's very diligent in how it's able to deliver a long period of nutrient to the plant.
Right, that's one of the best things about organic gardening is it's a slow release into it, so it's slightly less work for us in that aspect.
And we always love anything that's just a little bit less work.
Oh yeah, can't beat that. People really underestimate the value of compost in a garden, whether it be home or on a large scale like this. It really is a huge benefactor to growing plants.
We can't grow things without the nutrient value. We've got to have it.
Yeah, and most people, most of the time at home, you need to add compost to your soil because you've leached it of everything growing the same things in the same spots.
Yes, and I think a lot of people think, oh, I've got to start every year and I've got to dump all the old soil out and start over. And really, if you learn how you can use that material that you have and enrich it with really great stuff coming in, you might not have to buy as much, but you're still getting the benefit of rebuilding the soil, which is better in the long run than just having it run off into a creek or anything somewhere like that when you dump it out. So you want to rebuild your soil, and you do that by using compost.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can tell that it's really helping you out here. I mean, these plants that we're standing in here are absolutely beautiful. It's making me hungry.
Well, we can have a salad bar lunch right here.
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.